So you met him in February, and in March he needed money.
Yes.
Okay. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's a bill.
Off to the village.
You didn't get me, girl.
I can promise you that you do not have a Caucasian soulmate. I can promise you that. And my African queens, I heard some of y'all been bunny hopping. So you out here dating the slave master's great grandsons.
You don't need no.
Look at the screen.
That's mine.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
What are you not having?
I'm not having it, right? Because this woman doing this Danish deception thing, she started it and she's just like, oh yeah, I met this guy, and then I went to a restaurant and he was at the restaurant, and then I went on a boat trip, and then he was there after the boat trip, and he's liking everything on Instagram. If that was an average looking guy, he would be a stalker and a weirdo and a creep. But because she found him attractive, he was, oh, this is so cute, this is so interesting, this is so cool.
What did women do to you now?
Shallow.
Why are you, hey!
Shallow.
Wait.
Shallow women. And I'm not having it. I'm not standing for it.
Oh my God.
And I asked Michael, why didn't you bring this up to me? He goes, well, Onyeka, you're Nigerian. Like, that's a scamming capital of the world. I didn't know if you were in on it. And that's when
at this point, I don't care, honestly. Like,
And I care.
whatever.
Our relationship's on the line now. Because if you put us in a situation, now Colton thinks poorly of you,
If
but
I
why?
leave tonight,
I'll be right back.
okay.
I'm here. You kind of targeted me since the beginning.
I didn't.
Just to, to ruin
Nicole,
my
I didn't do
relationship. You wanted
anything to risk
ruin
my
your
relationship with Colton, but I do not think that you deserve to be with him.
Like, why? So where is this
Because
coming
you
from?
have said
I've never done anything
you
to
have
you.
said horrible
That's
things.
Colton. Oh my God, Colton's down.
Elise isn't here anymore. She left.
I just sort of want to sit and I'll let you guys continue your conversation. I
just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why, like, this story, was fabricated. Instead of telling me I'm emotionally
Colton, I
unstable.
told you exactly what Elise told me, and I wasn't there for the
She's
conversation.
not here anymore. This is between me, you, and now Colton. Like, you've put us in this situation.
I just came over here because I heard you guys yelling.
Colton's sitting there with them too.
No!
You guys, Colton is sitting there.
Man, I really want to be a fly on the wall now.
Demi,
What, you don't?
you have said offensive things about people in this house, and that's bullying.
See, but now you're
never,
switching it around.
See, I have never said anything offensive to
You've
anyone.
hurt everyone in this house. Like,
Who?
you even told me that you were willing to do this to all the other girls. Like, if you heard something,
I
you're
said
willing
it,
to, like,
something was
ruin their
brought to my
life.
attention.
This is really, really awkward.
It's easy to cut me off
you
when I
don't-
speak.
You don't.
It's easy to go behind my back
Nicole,
and
you
tell me I'm
literally-
emotionally
Nicole,
unstable.
really.
And now it's easy to tell Colton that I'm here.
So you're telling me your ex-husband scammed you out of $50,000 and then scammed your sister, your friends, your coworkers, and your parents? Not only did he scam y'all for thousands of dollars, but he also got a green card. Why didn't anyone Google him? If a man is telling me that he owns properties, I'm Googling it. If a man tells me that he was in the Olympics, I'm Googling him. Why didn't anyone Google him? When she asked his family if they were really royalty, I lost it. And I 100% agree with a lot of people's takes where they're saying that he would have never gotten this far if he was a black man. If this was a black man asking her for some money 6 weeks into the relationship, she would have broken up with him. There's no way they would have made it to marriage. I will say that this story time was very entertaining. I was sad. I truthfully hope Netflix or Tyler Perry picks this up.
To all of you, and you fell for it, at least by omission, at the very least. She forgot to tell y'all one very important detail, which is she wanted mixed babies and her mom and dad wanted mixed grandbabies. But you had on blue eyes and blonde hair colored shades, so that's all you could see is the genetics. You were like, ooh, these genetics are gonna eat. Damn. $5,000? Not a problem. The genetics are gonna eat. And your mom and dad were like, oh, are you both grandbabies are coming? Or you both grandbabies are coming in the house? Are you daft? Are you taking a piss, fam? What do you mean? You send that man your passport details. Are you mad? And if you're not Nigerian, Ghanaian, African, like, you may need to sit out in the comments and let the Africans explain to you what I'm talking about. Because what do you mean your mom and dad were offering to pay for the traditional and this and that and that and the third? Typically, the bride's family is not forking up a motherfucking dime for a wedding. And don't insert Temi or Ted or don't talk about rich people. That's different. Like, my daughter's gonna have what they have different. Typically, the groom is showing up with a dowry. You're paying my dad for raising me, my mom for taking care of me, all that stuff. You're paying my cousins for playing with me. You're paying my uncles for... You're paying people just to take me out the home. Like, you're taking the prize out of the home, so you're paying. In no world is anybody from the bride's family paying for a canopy, a plastic chair, a schnapp, a goat, nothing. The bride's family is not forking up a dime. So the fact that her mom and dad were willing to pay for whatever crazy work, okay? Also, we would never be here if this man was black, African, person of color, whatever, because you would have never lent him $1, let alone 5, 10, 15, 20,000, 30, however much you ended up loaning him. A black man would have never been brave enough to go ask your friends, husbands and stuff for money. They most especially wouldn't have given it to him. I'm not even making this up. I don't know this girl from Adam, never met her, and I dare her to come on here and say I'm lying. If this man was black, if this man was African, if this man was from your damn tribe, from your same village, we wouldn't be here because you wouldn't even look at him, let alone send your passport fucking details. What do you mean? You know why you really lost me? When you had the nerve to talk about something, you were going to the village and he was packing a Rolex watch and you were like, do you know where you're going? We're going to the village. They're going to rob you. Oh, whoa. Now you're trying to stop the hustle of your people. I'm kidding. Now, they definitely would have robbed his ass. But the reason he was bringing that watch is he knew it wasn't motherfucking real. But honestly, though, yeah, just say you wanted mixed babies and we will let it go. But you coming on here. Oh, and I have the nerve to talk about something. I took his passport so he couldn't leave, huh? I see you posting about you finally left him and you have peace. No, my love, he left you. How he leave you? Also, very brave of you to be taking trips when you owe somebody money. People are like, oh, she's an African. How did it? Because she's not an African. She's an Africant. Every time I saw you tuck your braids behind your ears, I knew what time it was. Crypto and Kryptonisha, you could have never been in the living room talking about, oh my God, we're going to fix this. If that was a black man, you would have detached. You would have removed yourself from the situation. I don't know how you came to the conclusion of royal title and $400,000 pay. My sister, if somebody has a $400,000 pay job, they don't borrow $3,000 from you. Hello? Amen? The family is rich. The family is rich. Royal titles. Oh, he kept showing me screenshots and emails. And you ever heard of Fiverr? You ever heard of Canva? You ever heard of any type of editing app, tool, PixArt? Email, girl, I could create an email right now. Esquire, who, JD from who. Send over an email. Yeah. Tax document, this, that. That's what you saw? How was the apartment that you Googled that wasn't his apartment already not sending you in the deep end? Oh, he's going to sell the 2 apartments in Copenhagen. They don't exist, my love. The business account doesn't exist. And after all that, he left you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm afraid Onyeka lied to all.
And also about this Danish deception thing, I think this proves another thing that Black Americans know. It's a certain few nationalities, some in Asia, some in Africa, that would do anything for a tall, blonde white man. They in the comments saying that man was facially challenged. He looked like a blonde Lord Farquaad. And I promise you this, if a Black American man would have told that girl, yeah, my family, we got millions and billions of dollars, and we can go to any hotel you want, we can do whatever you want, and I don't FaceTime for real. She'd have been like, boy, please. Now, Risa Tisa, that's a whole different situation. I don't know what she was thinking, because she She fell for a dude with a WWE belt collection. Come on, bro. And then when we all found the picture of dude, we was like, nah, bro, you really thought that he... We all found the pictures of him in his room with them WWE belts. We was like, nah.
Somebody said that she would have never sent him this money if he was black or Nigerian. And that is 1000% true. Because if you are a millionaire, number one, if you are a millionaire and you cannot come up with 6K, you're lying. Number two, go to the bank, get a loan. You're a millionaire. They'll give you that in 6 seconds. Why are you asking me? Not only was she was begging to give this man the 6K. Please take the 6K from me. You didn't know him from Adam and Eve. You just met this man a few weeks ago. I was sick.
And then when I tell you guys that women are the problem, y'all get mad at me. But this Danish deception is an example of a woman who refuses to take accountability. Like, I don't know how to say it. A lot of you women get played because you want to get played. Your desperation is the reason why you get played. That white man did what he was supposed to do, colonize. He was supposed to do what he did, colonize. He saw a lick, he saw a dumbass bitch lick, and he hit that hoe. I would have done worse to her because I'm Nigerian. She's lucky she didn't meet a Nigerian nigga who saw she was stupid. She's really blessed that motherfucker only did the white man colonization, because if it was an African man, that girl on Onyeka, you and your family members win stupid award. But also you can tell that she's someone who has self-insecurity, so she felt so special because a white man liked her. You can tell she doesn't really have self-confidence. A lot of you women get played because you choose to. And listen, my guys, my fellas, if you find a girl like that, hit her for everything she's got, point blank.
The Danish deception is proof that everything is in fact about race. This beautiful Nigerian woman was scammed by a white man, a Danish white man. Her being Nigerian is very important because disproportionately across the country, across the globe, Nigerians are associated with fraudulent activity. I bring this particular point up because it is difficult for me to believe that if this man's name was Onyeka, if this man's name was even Daryl, that he would have gotten away with the level of lies and deception that he got away with. And that brings me to my point about everything being about race. For some reason, this man was regarded as more trustworthy. And that calls into question why. Why is this man, this white man, blonde hair, blue eyes, by her description, trustworthy enough for ludicrous things coming out of his mouth to be believed? And some of you may be like, oh, no, I think love is really the main factor here. I would agree with you if when I searched her name and his name, first things that came up weren't those swirl pages that like have that kind of weird note towards swirl. Not just like, oh, love is love, right? And these pages are not just featuring them. These are captions written by her. So she had to submit to these pages, right? There's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about why someone would be able to get away with scamming you and your family to that level and you trust them. That's not just love. Love is political in and of itself, to be clear. Love is political in and of itself. So who is afforded love, who is afforded trust, who is afforded fidelity is political in and of itself. I'm not about to argue with y'all on that, like read books about it, because that in and of itself is political. And that is what brings me to this particular lens of this topic.
The thing about the Danish deception that I haven't seen anyone comment on yet is that she's lying. You can't tell me that in 2025 you have this life where you are able to see the world and make a ton of money and have friends with influence, and you didn't look up when this guy said he was a Danish prince. When he said he was an Olympic medalist, you weren't like, oh my god, I have to see your Wikipedia. She's lying. This whole time she knew. She was not tricked. She knew that this guy was not a Danish prince. She knew he wasn't a medalist, that he wasn't this like super rich guy. But she was living in her own delusion that this would all kind of resolve itself. She has the guy, you know, she has the guy that everyone else wants, that all of her white friends want. Everyone has said this, thank God, that the first thing that she says about this guy is that he's tall, he has blue eyes, he's blonde, he's Danish. Like, it all has to do with her wanting to be chosen with a white man. We all agree on that. But she thought that this would all work itself out through the power of nothing. Like, she had no basis on that. She wanted to be chosen so bad by a white man that she ignored. They weren't red flags, she just knew that it was bad. Like, she ignored all of these truths on the thread of hope that with daddy's money, with her money, that she would still be able to secure this man. And we know this to be true because he left her. She was not going to let go of this guy for any reason, because at the end of the day, the pictures were good, her friends were jealous, and she was chosen by a white man. And the super extra mega crazy thing is that she would actually have a successful story that everyone like related to and like wanted to connect with if she told the truth. If she said, man, I was being a pick-me and I made a mistake and I thought that I knew what I wanted, but I didn't. I thought that what I wanted was a guy that would give me status and that would make us as a couple look desirable, make me look desirable to the white standard. But actually what I really wanted was a loving husband and not this criminal piece of crap guy. She would actually have a story, but she's trying to save face. Like, she's trying to be like, oh, well, you know, he tricked me. Girl, you didn't use the internet. I don't believe you.
It seems like you're still living in this your bubble, because I'm not understanding what you mean by you're getting a lot of hate comments from black women. I have seen multiple videos made from other races, black, white, yellow, green, all of them. Everybody's talking about your story and everybody is literally saying the same thing. So I don't know why you're trying to make it a you versus black women thing. And you're literally confirming the rhetoric out there that you do not embrace your blackness. Now, let's be honest. Let's be very real. If you had a couple or at least a sprinkle of black people in your circle, you probably would have been able to avoid most of these mistakes in the first place. What you had was a lot of enablers. You had a lot of enablers in your circle, and that's why you're in the mess that you're in now. So don't put that on us. You put a story out there. You made it seem like this guy, like literally, you made it seem like this guy blew powder in your face and took away all your senses, took away your sight, your hearing, and everything, and just made you a zombie and did all this stuff to you. No, you deliberately saw the red flags and you twisted it to make it so that you don't lose your fairy tale. And that's what people are calling you out for. So please, let's not do that. I don't like that. Oh, this black woman, black woman. Please, girl, you're a black woman yourself, whether you want to embrace it or not. Now, you have to understand that this story that you told, this 25-part mini-series that you put out, you also expose your friends and family to harm because of your own selfish interests. So understand that when your friends and family read these things online, they're human beings, and I guarantee you that they're going to notice that what the public is saying is true, and they're going to start to evaluate their friendships with you, whether you want to believe it or not. So get ready for that. Number 3, I really hope therapy works for you. I really hope that you open your eyes, because the way you are going, it looks like this kind of thing can happen to you again and again and again and again. My sister, you are going to have to get real, whether you like it or not. Talking about, it's really disappointing that most of the hate I'm receiving is from black women. Girl, bye. Don't even go there with that nonsense.
Are we really going to sit here and pretend that Martin did not try to spare Onyeka? This man really said, you know what? I'm not going to scam her. I'm going to let her go. I'm going to let her off the hook. This man was prepared to leave with his friend. But no, she was like, you know what? Let me get you guys Instagram. And he didn't want to be rude. So he's like, okay, cool. Then he invites her to Monaco. He's just trying to have a good damn time with a gorgeous lady. And she's like, oh, and by the way, here's my number. He's like, oh my God. Yay, thank you. I've been waiting for you to give me this, although I have never asked for your number. Then boom, Monaco happens. While she's there, she decides to tell him, I love you, while crying. And then next thing you know, her ass falling down a flight of stairs. I think he sprinkled a little dust in her drink. At this point, he's like, surely she's gonna want to get away from me because you never had seizures before, you passing out. Clearly it's me. But no, instead of saying this never happened to me before, now all of a sudden I'm with this man and this is happening, he did something to me. No, instead of that, she said, I love you too. Fast forward, they on the phone. He complaining about something he need to pay for, something with his rental place or whatever. And he's telling her like he missing the money and she keeps offering it to him. He's like, no, I don't want your money. Homegirl not taking no for an answer. So he finally said, you know what? I don't need 10,000. I only need 6. And she was like, okay, let me give it to you. And he said, promise me that this would be the only time and you're okay with giving me this money. She said, yes. Fast forward, he tells her some very easily Googleable information. He tells her that he was an Olympian and that he like a part of the royal family. And he's like, surely she's gonna Google this shit and realize I'm a fraud. I really don't want to scam this girl, but she's making it a little too easy for me and I'm having a hard time not scamming her. She just wouldn't catch the hint. But by this time, he's already pulled in. He's like, you know what? I really tried to spare her. I didn't want to do it to her, but F it. This is an easy target. Let me run it up.
And you know what else is crazy? People saying, oh, don't victim blame. She's not a victim. Guys, somebody, a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair comes to you and says, I am a millionaire. I am royalty. Then the next thing he says is, I need $6,000. Are we victim blaming or are we common sense pointing outing? Which one is it? Like, I feel like the internet loves to do all these like internet-y things. Like, oh, you don't understand. If somebody comes to me and says, I am rich, go buy a Chanel bag. Then 2 days later comes back and says, I need $6,000. I know this is a scheme set up by Todd. Hello? Mind you, this girl, she wasn't even like in her early 20s. If she was like in her late teens, early 20s, I could understand. Homegirl's in her late 30s. You work in real estate, which means you verify people's funds before they let them buy houses. Girl, no funny. I would not even trust you to, I don't want to buy no house from you. Because common sense is running very far from you. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he deceived you. He deceived you in the same way that people call our phones every day trying to run a scam, telling us that, you know, we owe something on our Verizon bill, etc. What do? You hang up the call. This wasn't that. This wasn't that. And another thing, her allowing this man into her life. Guys, think about it really well, right? When your friend or your sister or your cousin gets a boyfriend, you don't go vetting him. You assume that your relative, your cousin, your whatever, did the work to vet him herself before she allowed him come into your family. So she cost her family all that money. Hello? Hello? What's not clicking? What's not clicking? Like, this isn't about no victim blaming. What millionaire needs $6,000? I think that was the first amount of money that she said that he asked for. What millionaire needs 6,000 US doll hairs? None. Girl, you work in real estate. Are you serious? You're in your late 20s. Are you serious? You're Igbo. And let's talk about that Igbo-ness of yours. You go to the village, which means you know. There's nobody, there's no Igbo person. First of all, going to the village is such an active thing to do. It's such an active process. You gotta get to Lagos. You gotta hire a bus or get on another plane. Get to your village. Go through. Your parents will tell you, don't greet that auntie. Don't let that person touch you. Don't pick up money from the floor. Don't eat that person's food. Like, it's such an active experience. Not something that you just do and then you just come back to Dallas and you don't know, like, you know the tease. You know a scam. You know to stay away from that cousin but let that cousin close. You know the vibes. I'm Igbo. Stop playing. So I think she knew she was getting scammed. She was giving him the money to cover it all up. You know? And she liked the idea of him and this white man being together. She knew he was funny style. She didn't mind as long as he was on her arm. The second he gets off her arm, now you're stealing passports and stuff. Sometimes, guys, people are just dumb. And come on the internet and just say, hey guys, I am dumb and this is what I did. Because don't come up here telling me this guy, he overly scammed you, he was so manipulative, he was such a genius. No, he's not. There's no genius, millionaire that needs $6,000 from me. That's the first one. First. I'll say, wow. What's more proof? Proof that he's a millionaire or proof that he asked me for 6K? Are we catching the vibes? And another thing, her saying, oh, you know, I wanted to show him that I wasn't here for his money. What do you mean? If a man tells you he has money, you enjoying the money is not you using him, it's you enjoying the thing that he has. I got jokes. If somebody says, oh, Chi, I don't want you to think I'm with you because you're funny, then why else would you be with me? I got plenty of jokes. Come and get one. Like, you, like, tell it, like, really deconstruct why you did this, why you Onyeka, Anika, why you did this to your family and friends. Deconstruct it. Because yeah, that man had a part to play, but girl, you had a bigger one. And that's why I always say, when you meet a man, when you're dealing with a man, tell yourself the story of how you guys met and how the relationship is going like a storybook. I've said this already. Don't leave out any details. Don't do ups and downs. Don't skip past. Say it the first day we did it, second day we did it. Because guess what? Once you start saying it to yourself, I'll even do you a better one. Record yourself while you're saying it. Then you can get to the tease of what's going on. Because a lot of people like to play victim instead of just saying, actually, I wasn't that much of a victim. What lady in her late 20s hears that a man is a millionaire, that you can fly all across Europe, but then in the same breath you need 6K? Could make sense, rara. So lady, that's why everybody's blaming you, because we're not dumb. Like, I'm not gonna play this internet game of like, oh yeah, but hold on. No, but nothing. There's no millionaire that's gonna ask me for $6,000. And that's just that on that. Okay? Okay, bye guys.
Mom, remember when the dad was in hospital? The whole family was gathered around and it was like coming up to Christmas time. He told us that him and the sister don't talk because the sister was aggressive with the mum or something like that. Something around those lines. Shasha, we now know the lie detector determined that that was a lie. So the sister asked him a question and said, oh, where are you spending Christmas, right? And he said to the sister, not with you, bitch. You see, for me, and rightfully so, Onyeka did say at the start of the story, she said one thing she liked about him was that the way he was with his mother. Now, I do you one for that. The way a man treats his mother, his sister, a woman who he likes, a woman who he doesn't like, a stranger that is a woman, is very telling. And those are the things that we should be watching. Because it's very easy to treat your mother well. It's very easy to treat a woman well that you like. It's very easy to treat a woman well that you want to knack. Very easy to do these things. For a man to refer to his sister as a bitch, to refer to your sister out of her name, your older sister for that matter, pack that one because we're coming back to that one class, just hold it there. For a man to refer to his sister like that is extremely telling, and red alarm, forget flag, red alarm, go there, we want in my head. Because how dare you, first of all, you called your sister a bitch. Not only did you call your sister a bitch, you can't come back, can't tell me, say you call your sister a bitch. And then you did that in front of your family members, your mother, your father. Because so then, what respect do you have for your mother if you're calling your sister out of her name on your father's deathbed? But anyways, back to the sister stopped talking to him. That was his older sister. Older sisters gather here. For an older sister to cut contact with their younger brother, that's to tell you that a lot has happened. The arsenal where she gets, where she comes to that conclusion to say, I'm going to cut ties with my younger brother, must be hefty. Then, when she went to go and visit the family home, and she met the sister, she was like, oh, the sister was really nice. Ha, guys, I will not get that far, but if I was to get that far, I go don't corner the sister, say, come. You know, your brother told me that you people don't talk. It's so sad to me. Why is that you guys don't talk? Guys, I ask questions. I ask questions not because, well, yes, because I'm nosy, but I ask questions because I genuinely believe God puts these questions in your head. It's for you to say, should I ask or should I avoid? I did ask questions. Sometimes when I ask certain questions as well, it seems very out of context in the conversation, or it might seem very early in the relationship or very early in the dating stage. But I will ask the questions for a reason, because tomorrow I go down, they do mathematics, say, oh, but you told me this and this and this and that. There was another point I was going to make. Oh, I will come back when I remember. Don't worry.
Just finished the entire Danish Deception series, and I wanted to weigh in as a European who grew up in Europe. The first thing people need to understand is the distance was a huge factor. If she was living in Europe, or even better in Denmark, she would have caught a lot of the things that he lied about much sooner. Like, she would have found out he doesn't have a property. She would have met his parents sooner. She would have met some of his other friends that he has already scammed out of money. Like, think about you if you're married or in a long-term relationship. It takes time to get to know somebody and everything about them. And if you're not physically there with them, it's much harder. Secondly, he created an environment that makes it very hard not to believe him, with $2,000 a night hotels, taking her shopping and saying, you can buy whatever you want to buy. It'd be much easier to doubt his words if his words didn't match his actions, but they did. Now, here's the part I think would have saved her if she lived in Europe. When he made up the lies that he's gone to the Olympics or that he had a royal title, as a European, I would have Googled the royal title, not because I wanted to verify if what he's saying is true, but because Europeans don't love royal families. Like, we'd Google that shit just to make sure we're not associated with some really dodgy royal family history. We'd be worried about marrying into something really dark. And I think US media particularly pedestals royal families. I mean, look at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their perception in the US versus their perception in the UK and Europe. So remember their first trip together was in Monaco? A lot of the US media and people also pedestal Monaco, whereas Europeans know that there's not much to do in Monaco. It's so tiny, it's like a weekend getaway and no more than that. Whereas I think in America it's seen as this luxurious, high-end special place. I don't know. You tell me how you see Monaco if you live in the States. But in Europe, we're kind of like, eh. The other thing I think that's interesting as a European is typically the Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and I've dated guys from these countries. They're typically known for going Dutch, aka going 50-50. So that alone would have been quite interesting to a European to go like, really? That guy is not like that? Interesting. That would have been a reason to look up his royal title and his wealth and all that kind of stuff. But how is somebody who's lived in the US their entire life supposed to know any of this? They're not. You can be well-traveled and still not fully understand a lot of those European nuances that Europeans talk about all the time. And I think he took advantage of that. I think he made up some outrageous lies, like the Olympic lie, and he just did that as a test. Like, oh, let me come up with the most ridiculous lie I could possibly do and see how she handles it. If she doesn't question me, doesn't investigate me, that's my sign I've got full freedom. So I'm not going to judge anyone for not seeing red flags before they move in with the person. And this is a great reminder of the risk of falling in love with somebody long distance, because by the time you have fallen in love with somebody and have the chance to truly get to know them, you might be so deep in that any red flags that you see afterwards, your body will just try to reject. And the final thing nobody's considering is that if she didn't live in the US, which has such strict rules about who can live there and who cannot, she wouldn't have married him that quickly. She would have had the opportunity to live with him 1, 2, 3 years to really get to know him and who he is. And then if he is good, then they would have gotten married. And I think she would have found out that he wasn't, and she wouldn't have married him. Like, I know how complicated that is because my fiance is Canadian and I'm European, and we decided to live in Europe instead. And it was very easy for him to just get residency without us getting married. But if I wanted to live in Canada, I think that would have been more complicated, and we may have had to get married much sooner and not have any chance to get to know each other. So consider.
Onyeka is not a girl's girl. Onyeka is not a girl's girl, because in part 24 is 25 when she said, oh, they told me he was with a sex worker and she was like a 1 out of a 10, and so he's now with prostitutes. She was bringing that woman down. She was bringing that woman down. You do not bring another woman down, not especially for a deadbeat like that man. You do not do that. So she's still in love with that man and she is upset. That's why she is trying to be like, oh, you can never find better. Oh, they said the girl you saw with after me looked like a sex worker and she's a 1 out of 10. Ha 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 ha. That's not a girl's girl. That is not a girl's girl. This girl has been a pick-me from day one. A pick-me from day one, because explain to me how, in what century do you meet a man at a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and you guys have a conversation and he does not ask for your number or nothing, and it's like, okay, bye. And then you carried your 2 legs like praying mantis, and you go and give him your Instagram for him to put his Instagram so you could follow him. And then you all were communicating through Instagram and not even through your number. That is giving pick me, choose me, take me. That is why she was so happy to tell him, oh, I have 2 jobs. I make my own money. I am not like one of these girls. I am different. Pick me. I am homely. I will give you a home. I will take care of you.
What kind of embarrass? Like, and then, oh, it's coming to me. People are like, oh, he must have been really charismatic for him to scam, all of his family, all of her family and friends. No. The friends are pick-me and the family are pick-me's just like her, because it was all about the status. It's all about the status. This girl is from Nigeria. Do you know how hard it is to take money from a Nigerian man's hand, talk less an Igbo man, and they openly gave it like that? It's because they were like, they wanted the closest proximity to royalty and he was it. And so they were so blinded by the fact that, oh my goodness, he is British royalty. He is this. We are going to be like, their parents wanted to be able to have bragging rights to say, our daughter married a man from Denmark or from wherever it is that it's a British royal. Come to think about it, Onyeka. You are a realtor. You are working in an accounting company or whatever it is. You want to tell me you know how to Google immigration lawyers. You know how to Google how to take care of this man's back pain. You know how to Google to find flights. But you did not know how to take those your fingers like chicken legs and Google, hey, is this person royalty? Or Google his name to find out if he is real royalty or not. You're a realtor. You mean to tell me this man sent you pictures of properties he's owned and not once, Onyeka, not once did it cross your mind to run it as a realtor, as something you do for a living? Not once, Onyeka, did you think to check if these properties actually existed, or just to be curious to see what the properties are going for, especially since he was claiming he was going to sell them for lower than what they cost? Onyeka, you did not. Number whatever I'm on. How did this man have access to all of your friends? Like, how? Like, for my man, none of my friends have access to that man, because why are you having access to him? Why? So how did he go so far that they all had his numbers and he had their numbers, to the point where he is taking money from them and telling them not to tell you, and they are all comfortable not to tell you? Because if my sister's man ever calls me and tells me, hey girl, Augusta, can you borrow me $5,000? I want to buy Mimi a watch, but don't tell her. And she hangs up, boop, the next person I'm calling. Girl, not my sister, but my other sister. Guess who is about to get a Rolex watch? Who? Yeah, it's for her birthday. And then on your birthday, let me not see that Rolex watch on your arm. Let me not see that Rolex watch on your arm. So I don't, like, things are not adding up. Like, am I losing it? Like, I have not been able to sleep for 3 days, because this is the biggest embarrassment that could ever happen. This is like we have been stripped off our identities. We have no aura no more. Like, we are no longer, we can never ever say we know ball, because Onyeka, upon all the ball that I have taught you, upon all the ball that Sheila 77, Sprinkle have taught you, upon all the ball that all of these other women that come on here have taught you, Onyeka, you decide to let blonde hair, blue eye. You decide to let blonde hair, blue eye do us like they do you, in it, which means in terms, put all of us in shame. All of us in shame. Blonde hair, blue eye. You were captivated by a blonde hair, blue eye. Because, and then you know what the honest truth that I'm not seeing nobody talking about? The honest truth is, right? If that was Jerome from down the street, or Olariwanju from Lagos, or Ade from Cameroon, none of them, not her family, none of them would have even been able to say hello to her. None of them. It wouldn't have even got to the point of where she opens her Instagram and gives them to follow her. It would have never given that. It would have never given that. So she was just blinded by the man's looks, by the man's race, by the man's every single thing, and that is why you got scammed. Onyeka, ladies, we are supposed to be. This is why I said we have to be gold diggers, because there is no way that could have happened to a gold digger.
Because gold diggers are not pygmies. You can never scam. And this is why it was, Onyeka, you were supposed to be digging for the gold. You let a man from Denmark, not even a man from Monaco, you let a man from Denmark, those people that they don't have better food, you let them come and dig gold from you and your family. This goes down in the history books. Madam, we bow for you, Mal. Well done. Oh, you do well. You do well. Everybody say give grace. Honey, I will give grace to a girl's girl. I will give grace to a girl's girl. She is not a girl's girl. The moment she spoke about the sex worker, that just sealed everything I spoke about this girl. Because mind you, we don't know if that woman is a sex worker. Her and her friends assumed it was a sex worker because they wanted to talk down on her. I rest my case. Onyeka, you do well, ma. We bow for you. Oh, well done.